Hi, everybody. How are you doing tonight? I hope that you are having an excellent start to your weekend and, hopefully we can make it a little better. Nigel is with me today.
Hi, I'm over here.
Ooh, I need to blend some more. I was in a hurry trying to get my base on because I was trying to do a fill-in before this and I managed to get it done. I did this myself, so it's not perfect, but it looks cool. Nigel picked the colors. Can everybody hear us okay?
Yeah, everyone let us know if you can hear us all right.
Yeah. You want to say hi to everybody for a second while I get kind of in place?
Sure thing, my sweet.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? Everyone all right? It's been a kind of a dull day here, but
For you.
well, we've had some.
I did all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah, well, you ain't the only one, my sweet.
There you go. See?
I'm just saying. Okay, we're coming through loud and clear. Everyone says.
Woo! Party!
Yeah.
Can't tell. I'm very stoked to have you guys with us. That is legit. It's always so nice to just kind of hang out and talk hair and makeup and goof off. Now, of course, this is the main channel, so we're gonna be a little bit more, vanilla, but like vanilla bean. There's gonna be some flex in it, but it's definitely gonna be on the like PG side of things. Whereas if you join us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on the CysterWigs After Dark channel, Nigel and I definitely get a little tipsy and we definitely get a little loose. So if you are more into like casual conversation, if you feel at home when people cuss a little, and talk like normal, come join us tomorrow night at 6. We'd love to have you. I'll let you keep going while I try to experiment with this brow. It's a little bit like a fuzzy caterpillar today, but I'm gonna kind of run with it.
All righty. Well, yeah. Well, hello, Elaine, and hello, Billy.
Hello.
See who else we got coming in here. Yeah, that's all the people who have come in. Oh, Mary. Yes, hello, Mary, and Terry, and Andrea. Excellent.
Doesn't
I
it
think
make you
that's
feel
everyone caught up.
single time? Like all you need is like a little mirror in front of you. Yeah, didn't you see that as a kid? No? That
Yes, yes. Romper room, yes, but they never called my name.
They called my name because it was popular
Yes,
back.
because there are a lot of people called Heather.
I know.
Not too many Americans called Nigel.
That's one of the many things I love about you, though. You are one of a kind, dear.
Probably for the best.
And I know, because I'm a greedy bitch. Oh, sorry. I told everybody it was going to be vanilla bean. They allow that on the radio now, though, so I'm not going to abuse it. But that was an oopsie. My bad. My apologies, everybody. I will try to restrain myself. There are lots of reasons, by the way, why I am super, super, super excited tonight. It's because I did some spring cleaning, if you know what I mean. Like I'm going through my makeup stash now, and as I go through these videos and reviewing all these palettes, I'm going to kind of pick and choose which ones bring me joy, which ones spark joy, and which ones I need to Marie Kondo out of my life. But they're still going to be perfectly beautiful eyeshadow palettes that have only really been used for this series. So I might just start giving that stuff away. And I'm going to start this off with a bang, even though this doesn't really have a bang. I am going to give away a wig. A really, really, really nice wig, actually. But the thing is, if you want to hear more about this, you see, I'm teasing you now. You got to keep watching a little bit. And I will drop it kind of in a random spot in the course of this video, what's going to go on with that. It's beautiful. I literally have not worn this ever as my day-to-day wig. This is one that I bought directly from, I'm an authorized vendor of Aesthetica, so I contacted them. I paid for it. I did a review of it. And then I kept it because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I didn't want to sell it. And I kept it. And I can't bring myself to wear human hair wigs. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got preferences, and I just happen to really love synthetics because I guess I'm lazy about styling my hair. It was never really my thing. I like doing makeup, but doing hair, it's kind of a mystery to me. I think it's because I never really had much. I started losing my hair when I was 17. And side note, I'm frankly a little angry that it's growing back in. I'm growing it in so that way I can try toppers on myself. So that way I can make sure they have decent coverage for most people, you know, particularly people who don't have such profound hair loss. But I would like to, you know, play around with them, get a feel for them. And it's hard to do it if you don't wear them. So I'm growing my hair out, but I swear I hate the sensation of it. Have any of you shaved your head and you know, gotten used to that and then tried growing your hair back out? Did you have a similar experience? Because whew, I can't get used to it. Maybe it's just because I'm an Aspie, but I can't get used to the sensation at all.
I'll tell you what's really weird is when I've had a beard for I don't know how long. I don't know how long. And every so often, usually around Halloween, I'll shave it all off because I'm not used to, because for some perverse reason, all the people I want to dress up for at Halloween are beardless. And suddenly my entire face is naked and cold and tight and afraid. It's like my skin is like, what is this? I don't like being exposed to the environment.
See, I had the exact opposite sensation. I was like, okay, there are a few things that I don't like about growing my hair back out. And one of them is that, you know, now I can see the evidence of it falling out, like on the pillowcase and in the shower. And that is not something I ever want to go through again. But for science, I am doing that. And then I also don't like the sensation of it basically on anything. I don't like the way it feels on the pillowcase. I don't like the way it feels when it's like touching my ear or the back of my neck. Like, seriously, do I sound like a complete freak right now? Because it sounds like this is just a really oddball thing, but seriously, it feels so weird having it grow back in. And then
no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Because of COVID hair, you know, my hair's been growing out long and it's been falling down around my ears and in my ears and around my face and down the back of my neck. And it's just, I haven't had long hair in like 2 decades. And now all of a sudden I've got long hair again. And it's a bit unnerving. It's like having, like I said, shaving my face again after having a beard for so long. And I'm just not used to it. Like I can feel things on my flesh now. My chin is not padded anymore.
For the record, I have a blemish up here that I'm trying to like powder a little bit into oblivion before I get started with this. But yeah, that's all I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of MAC Studio Fix foundation on in NW15. It's really opaque. It's literally a powder foundation, so I don't really ever use it all over my face, but I do use it in spots. Like if I have blemishes that are trying to pop up, I might lay that down before I put the rest of the makeup on. Just, you know, I do have setting spray on as well, but I don't have anything else on my eye. I haven't even put primer on yet. But I do have base makeup on. And the brow stuff I'm putting on is Neutral Nana by Urban Decay. And then once I'm done with this, we're going to get into the theme of today's video. Finally, I know. This is an installment of Have I Got Nudes for You, which again is kind of a question, but is also a statement at the same time. Like if it is truly nude, have I got nudes for you? You know, kind of like a take on that British show. Or do I? Like, are these really? Like, could you actually call this a nude makeup palette, even though the manufacturers do? So just
John's here, by the way. So hi, John.
Hello, John. So basically, just, you know, this is all my take on it based on me playing around with the palette. I did not, you know, like watch somebody else's video and then take their talking points. If I do quote talking points from anybody like, say, Tantalia, I will absolutely let you know that that's the source. Let's see what else we got here. The eyeshadow palettes each week will be selected by you guys in polls. And so you guys voted for next week. We're going to be doing the Natasha Denona Biba palette, which I'm so stoked. I am editing the video for Patreon. I did a whole bunch of, well, I did 2 different looks. One's kind of like blown out, warm disco 70s. My inspiration was like a picture of Jerry Hall. And then I've got the Edie Sedgwick eye that I tried to do, which is like super mod 70s. And I tell you about the history of the Biba palette. It's super cool. I just have to edit it. So I'm working on that now, but that will be next week. So if you are on our Patreon, you can get that little filler video that tells you more about what we're talking about in the live stream. So that way you can really come prepped with a bunch of knowledge when we lay down the makeup. I try to be real thorough. I'm a geek at heart, you know, but I don't want to be boring. So I like to break it up. So that way people who want to watch the nerd stuff can, and the people who don't have to. And so be sure you check out our community tab polls each week because, you know, that's where you get to have your say in what we do here. And by the way, the next poll is already up. And I decided that because, you know, each one of the palettes I've done so far has been kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Like of the ones we've been voting on. So all 5 options are budget eyeshadows. They're all under $20 because I don't just collect the high-end stuff, though I totally do collect that stuff. I also collect drugstore stuff. And I thought some of that might be fun. I'm getting verklempt. Give me a second. But there we go. So what are we testing tonight? Well, dear wig lovers and makeup lovers, this is the Enduring Love palette by Sydney Grace Cosmetics. This is $58 and I bought it directly from Sydney Grace. And this is not a paid sponsorship. I literally bought this because I thought it'd be cool. I also use my floppy silicone skin as a reference. I do this every time I do one of these. It's not super scientific because this skin is way too smooth and it's way too peach all over to really approximate human skin. But it gives me a good reference for how these look so I know how to make the looks. So I just kind of keep it handy. It's like a little key. So this is what the outside of the packaging looks like when you remove the sleeve. It gives you all the ingredients. Now, it doesn't tell you per color what the ingredients are. And frankly, at this price point, they really should. Somewhere on this packaging, when you look at the Biba next week, you will see that the labeling is all over the place. Like they do a very good job of telling you exactly what the heck is in that eyeshadow. So this is a mess because I have definitely been playing around with it. Has some really, really beautiful colors. You get a nice selection of mattes as well, which I really, truly appreciate. So the mattes here, Romeo is not, it's really pale, so it might not be picking up that that's a shimmer, but it is a shimmer. So Juliet, Darcy, Victoria Passion, Boaz, Cherish, and Robert. Those are all of the matte shades. Not a single one of them is one of those pinpoint mattes or the sequin mattes. You know what I mean? Like the mattes that have the little bits of glitter in them that ColourPop throws in every single one of their palettes that like don't blend well. Those. None of those are in this palette. You do have some pretty metallics though. You get Devotion, Albert, John, and Deanna. Very, 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 very metallic foily colors. Very cool. Ruth is a black base that is very dark teal, but it does have a black base. And side note, I don't know if you guys were watching and somebody mentioned once that I should get like a black eye primer. I did buy that, by the way. It hasn't arrived yet. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of the company. Nigel, could you make a note to remind me so that way I can actually like name this product by name?
Will do, my treasure.
Because I hate being so vague. Yeah, I think that this color would have applied a lot better if I had a really dark primer or had laid down like some Natasha Denona Blackest Black or something like that to just really beef up because the base is not opaque enough. And even if you layer it, it's not as pretty as it could be. Maybe if you added some Duraline to it or something like that. Elizabeth is really beautiful, but it has carmine in it, and it really irritated the bejesus out of my eye, primarily because I put it like all over my eye. But the thing is, I'm trying to test these. I'm trying to see where the problems are, I might play it safe on one side and go kind of crazy with the other. And it's just because how can I make an informed opinion if I'm just doing the same look on myself all the time? So I like doing those makeup trials. So yeah, I'm going to take a little pause just to let you know that I made this series of videos initially to address a pet peeve of mine because I hate it when makeup and wig manufacturers say that something is natural or neutral looking when it obviously isn't. And I've been playing around with this palette for about a week. Again, this is the Sydney Grace Enduring Love. And this is the light version. They also have a deep version. And I wanted to give you details about long-term wear. So this has some real staying power on as long as I use a primer because I have very dry skin everywhere except right on my eyelid. So primer really does help with that. And I thought all of these stayed on for a very long period of time, even outside. So I really appreciated that. When it comes to color payoff, I got excellent color payoff with all of the colors, with the exception of Victoria. I could not get Victoria to go on basically at all. Darcy has this weird white spot in the center of it, so I didn't try it. I'm just staying away from it. And then Ruth, as I mentioned, I think the base needs to be slightly more opaque, or just part of it somewhere needs to be more pigmented, so that way it really pops with that bright teal, dark. It looks so pretty in the pan, but when you get it on your eye, it's very difficult. But the thing is, on perfectly smooth, perfectly peach, fake floppy skin, it's swatched like a dream. You're so deceptive. So, all right. We got 2 tests for this eyeshadow palette, and the one we're going to facilitate by me making a look for you. And that test is, can you make a natural look with this palette? Is it work appropriate? Could you wear it to church? That sort of thing. And then the second test, which we will do with these beautiful wigs behind me, is we will ask, is this neutral? A truly neutral eyeshadow should really go with whatever hair color. So we've got a cool, a warm, and a wild card. So in this case, we've got the Denim Fade Bardo. We've got the Peach Bellini R on Bardo, and we also have that prototype of the Royal Velvet R in case you guys want to see that again, though that will not be coming until the fall, about October-ish, just so you know. Alrighty, yeah. So I just explained that, sweet. And then I just explained that, which means I unlock this achievement. Ding! Some more info about this palette. It's $52 for 30 grams, which puts this at the high mid-range pricing, comparable to high-end department store brands. It's not as expensive as something like Biba, which is $129, but it's still pretty pricey. So, and some feedback about the shadow trials in case you missed the video, the Patreon preview. I did kind of like a soft pink look on this eye. And again, I put that Elizabeth color with all the carmine in it, like literally all over my eye. And one thing I realized is that I really wanted to test whether or not these colors could actually work together. As in, can you put them adjacent to each other? Can you layer them? You will look like you have a black eye. Okay? I don't recommend it. The color combination, I don't recommend it. So not all of the colors in here play well with each other, but they all complement most of them in some capacity. All right. So some pros. We've got the color story, and the story of the palette itself is very clever and heartfelt. So that's something that you might have seen in that preview video. Is that they named these last 2 colors after their mom and dad, which is really cool. And then they tell a little story on Instagram about it, which is also cool. It's an indie brand, which is very appealing to me because I'm a small business owner. I want to support other independent small business owners whenever possible. Color story is cool toned, very versatile. You can make soft, accessible, everyday looks or go glam. I pushed them both and they both went well. So today's going to be fun. And then my other thought was that this would make an excellent Mother's Day gift if you have a mother in your life who loves makeup. Because, you know, what's a better example of enduring love than the bond between a mom and her babies? We've got a little nest of baby birds growing up in our wreath outside right now. And I think they're just little house wrens. And the fattest one, the fluffy fattest chick, is adorable, and he's very brazen. He will just like perch up on top of the wreath. So he's like a wreath decoration right now.
I gotta say, they're growing really fast. Like, it wasn't long ago they were just there were a couple little blobs of hideous, wrinkled, sparse-haired luck, and now they're getting their full adult feathers in and peeking up and looking over the edge of the nest and eyeing me sort of askance as when I open the door.
I thought it was the mommy bird.
Yeah, they're growing that quickly. Yeah, they are adorable. But yeah, I'm looking forward to them fledging and leaving so I can clean the wreath and the door because, you know.
I can't imagine. I took one picture of the nest and realized that may be too many because now I know how much poo is on our door. But it's worth it though, because every time they get fed, they go cheep 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 cheep, and they're just they make me smile from ear to ear because it's so freaking cute. Cheep 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 cheep.
Every single time you hear a scrabbling at the door of the parents returning to the nest and preparing to feed them. They go off like little cheeping landmines, and it makes Heather grin from ear to ear, you know, unfailingly every single time for as long as they're cheeping. It's fantastic.
Cute though.
They are cute.
It's such a blessing that we have little birdies that want to hang out in our house. I'm just glad that they're not like the crazy invasive birds that like you have to call an exterminator to get out of your house. Like they're just like the wreath. I can live with that.
Yeah.
You know, anything that's outside, good. Inside, not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have enough trouble putting insects out. I don't want to have to try to catch a bird as well.
I don't even know how you would do that.
With great difficulty, I would imagine, my treasure.
Again, I'm using an Urban Decay Brow Blade. The color I'm using is Neutral Nana. I turned off one of my lights just because when I get close enough where I can actually see the precision of where I'm setting my strokes, like my face is like right in the light. And I think that's just gonna sandblast all of the detail. And if that's the case, then what's the point of going through all the trouble to make sure I do this meticulously, right? And to my knowledge, I'm not using any filters. I am using an iPhone, so people wonder what I record with. It's an iPhone 12 Pro, I believe, something like that. Okay. Well, hey, Nigel, you want to take some comments, honey? Are you there?
Yeah,
okay.
One sec. Okay. Elaine says we used to live on a sailboat and swans used to try to nest on our rose boxes. That would be a nightmare because those things are big and they are not easily dissuaded. You think geese are bad? Man.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. I think you were in the car, Nigel, where they were talking about how they used to eat swans.
Oh yeah, you had that podcast while I was with you.
Yeah.
All about swanage and so forth.
One would taste like, because I don't like goose. I like duck, but I don't like anything bigger than that.
Well, I've heard various things. I've heard it depends on their diet because if you just let them eat naturally, they taste a bit muddy like carp, like a cross between duck and carp. Apparently, they're a bit fishy. But if you feed them oats, for example, then they've got a cleaner sort of barnyard poultry sort of taste. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start playing around with this while you take some comments, and we'll go from there.
All righty. Cheryl says, I always wanted to live on a houseboat. It must have been amazing.
Hi, Cheryl.
Or a sailboat, even better. Yeah. Elaine says, we used to live... Oh, never mind. That skipped again. Where'd it go?
Oh, I didn't even put primer down. I should put primer down. Well, no, let's do one eye with primer and one eye without. How's that sound? That way we can kind of test to see which one looks better.
Compare and contrast.
I love it. Okay, sorry, got really excited again.
Elaine says, I like to do my goth look when I go to church.
That's sick and twisted, and I love it. Hey, if they know you, they know what they're expecting. They're just probably glad you showed up.
Helen Kirk says, silicone skin, awesome. That's the stuff they use to test tattooists, novice tattooers on, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But it is like perfectly smooth. It's a little unreal. Well, a lot unreal because it's fake floppy skin.
You got that off Amazon, didn't you? That fake skin?
What's that?
You got that off Amazon, didn't you? That fake skin?
It's just a tattoo practice skin. I'm using a little bit of ABH primer because it's a little bit more opaque than the Urban Decay one that I typically use, or the what the heck's the other one? The Smashbox one I also use. I also have a NYX one, but I think that'd be overkill. I want something that's at least kind of close to my skin tone. Still trying to focus, by the way, on that zit that is under my eyebrow because I don't want that to show through the makeup. All right, go ahead, honey.
Okay, Bettina says, or be like that guy who had a flock of birds trying to get into his house via the chimney. The news likened it to the birds. I can imagine that, yeah. Kimberly says, is it crazy? I put my eyeshadow on with my pinky finger. Obviously, I need help, lol.
No, it's anything's fair game. And sometimes your finger's the correct instrument. Like if you're using one of like Pat McGrath's really super sparkly colors, or like a Super Shock shadow from ColourPop or something like that, your finger works great because you'll really get an intense payoff if you use your finger. Oh gosh, again, it's supposed to be the
PG-13, Heather, PG-13.
I know. We're unprofessional, but we're fun.
So unprofessional.
So unprofessional. All right. I'm gonna do the exact same thing so far that I've done to this eye on this eye. So I'm just gonna apply this Cherish color. I just want that to dry a little bit.
That's what she said.
And this eye may end up looking a lot lighter, just because, you know, this is going on top of skin, and this is going on top a slightly lighter version of it. That will really enhance the way the colors look. Now you can see, because there's a little bit of natural oil and stuff like that, I got, not only is it darker, but it looks like I got more of a payoff. I'm using the exact same brush, again with the Cherish color. Now this is going on a lot more smoothly, so that makes sense. It's just more grip where there's a little oil, but that means that this is also probably going to crease up. It's probably going to move around. We'll have to see. I'm still just using the same color. And you don't have to use this specific brush, which is a Wango 16. Like really any jumbo blender brush would probably be a good substitute for what I'm currently doing, which is just putting a nice fluffy soft layer of something down. I think I'm basically gonna go Juliet, and because I'm trying to keep this like really soft and subdued, and then if we have a little bit of time, I'll glam it up a little bit afterwards. But let's do Victoria, then Passion. Kind of see if that's good. All right. I'm going to see if I can get some color out of Victoria because it looks pretty in the pan. Maybe it's just hard pan. Maybe it is literally just hard pan. Do you guys like know? Okay. I'm going to explain just in case. Like hard pan is when like this hard top layer forms on your shadow palette. I'd just take a Q-tip to it and gently, I mean, I don't dig in, but I just kind of gently brush that off. Okay, give me just a sec. Let me see if I can pick some of that up on my brush. Oh boy. And then it should be easier to get the product on there. And I think there's probably too much on this brush actually to get me the effect I want. So I'm going to move to a different one. This is a Worker 3 by Sonia G. All right. Because I want control over how much I'm actually putting on so I can try to duplicate it on both sides. And it's very powdery. The mattes in this palette are not my favorite. They're very, very powdery. Okay. Go ahead, honey.
All righty. The Mertz. Oh, that is a lovely Darth Vader-y. Is that a cross between Vader and Lumberg from Office Space? That is fantastic. Going to have to rewind and see what
that what is it that TPS report?
Yeah.
Star?
Yes.
Yes. I got
Going to have to rewind and see what the silicone skin you were talking about. Love that Sydney Grace palette. Her shadows are amazing. Very nice company as well.
Yeah, it seems like I love the story they told about, you know, their inspiration for this and all of the literary and cultural references and the romance between their parents. All of that is like sweet, sweet candy to me. It's very good.
There will be a substantial reward for the one who fills out their TPS reports. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them completed. No half-assing, okay?
This is the main channel. Oh, we might as well just drop the pretense. We are who we are. Whatever. Oh, goodness.
Office Space, absolutely spectacular movie. If you folks haven't seen it, watch Office Space. It should be watched by anyone who has ever held a job anywhere.
Oh my gosh, this is such a dramatic difference between the side that has the primer and the side that doesn't. Just two colors so far. Can you guys see the difference? Wow. Just wow. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? What do I want to do next? I did take a clean brush. This is just a crease 2 and blended that out a little bit more. And I'm grabbing another one. I go through so many brushes. I'm going to do Passion. This brush is great. This is a Worker Pro. It's got kind of an edge to it. You can kind of see it's got like a point and it's got a flat barrel. So very, very good for getting this like inner eye area. You got a little bit of a hood going on.
Helen says she loves us both as we are. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Wow, the thing is, because there was natural oil on my eye, one thing I can definitely point out for certain is that I have way less control on the non-primed side of where this is actually blending, because there's a lot of oil that naturally pools in the crease of your eye, even though I blotted it and stuff before I came out here. Like, I have less control over where the blending is occurring. I have less control over where the eyeshadow actually settles, because this kind of grips it in place a little bit. You know what I mean? It gives it kind of a smooth surface and kind of like a nice foundation that's the same color all over. So it kind of like gives you, it's like putting gesso on a canvas, you know, that sort of thing. Very Bob Rossi there. But over here, there's like no control. It just kind of looks muddy. I'm gonna keep going though, because I think this is intriguing. Doing the exact same thing on this side. And kind of see if you could tell the difference. And same brush, same area, same color. Same application area. That's nuts. I have so much more control on the side that's primed. I've never tried this before, really, where I just kind of test the two. This is fun.
That's a good idea, doing that, one with primer and one without.
But it's a bit crazy to do it during a live stream, though.
Yeah, but having said that, it's a great comparison, side by side. Andrea says, "What is the subject of tomorrow night's live? I haven't seen it anywhere." Well, Andrea, that is going to be Nigel's England Part 2. Going to discuss a little bit more of the Southwest, round and about some interesting day trips you could take, and possibly some food if there's time. If not, that can be yet another installment for another time. But yeah, get to hear me blather on again and again about fun stuff in England.
I think it's fun to hear you blather on again and again and again and again. Particularly about England, because it's something you're very passionate about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do like it, you know. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Liz.
Hi, Liz. It's nice that you could come. Oh goodness. Well, just the fact that you're making an effort is so sweet, because I mean, I know this is an inconvenient time for you. Like, just in case people watching didn't know, we polled everybody and we're like, hey, can you come at this time? What day and time works for you, basically? And what people voted for in general was Friday at 8. So I was like, okay, game on, let's do that. But unfortunately, some folks couldn't make it. And Liz is awesome. She's like one of my biggest fans. And she's a fan of Nigel. She's just really sweet. And she looks great in dark hair colors. And we have similar skin tones. She has very cool skin too. So it's neat to trade info back and forth. So hi, Liz.
Andrea says, great, I'll make it there someday. I subscribe to BritBox. That's as close as I've come. BritBox is good, but the funny thing is the American BritBox has vastly different stuff from the actual British BritBox channel. I've been hearing about stuff. Hang on, let me.
I just want to show that I'm using this Romeo color. I want to give it a little something. Maybe put that in the corner here. I love this color. It's such a pretty pink, and I think we can get away with it without getting to the point where we don't look work appropriate. You know what I mean? But obviously, you can get kind of a nude makeup look with this. Let's see. And this is a shimmer, but it's a really soft one. Like, it's so very sweet, and it's actually one of my favorite colors in here. It's kind of sheer. It's not super opaque, and it's just got a really lovely sheen to it. And the great thing about the shimmers and this color and the metallics, the actual components, like the particles, are small. You know, it's very small. It's kind of like very fine, and so it's very fine line friendly. I think that's one reason why people really like this palette. I mean, they like the story, they like the company, but it's just some of these colors and some of the shadows and the quality of them, particularly when it comes to the shimmers and the metallic shades, they're really good. The mattes I'm gonna have to play around with a little bit more. I'm not as smitten with them as some folks are. Maybe that's just because I have a palette that had an issue with some hard pan. I have to play around with that, because that Victoria color did seem to work a little better once I scraped the top really gently. And I have a makeup spatula, like a little tool here. I would not use that for hard pan unless it was really dire. And you can usually tell when it is, because you'll be able to see it visibly, like an island hanging out in the center of your your pressed powder eyeshadows. Sometimes that will require this, but I mean, this is getting very heavy-handed with it, because if you go too deep, the whole thing will break up and then you'll have to repress it, or just end up with a big mess if it's a shimmer. Let's see. I think now is probably a really good time to talk about the wig. So I'm gonna talk about this real briefly. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are going to give away a premium human hair wig. It actually feels really nice. We washed it and conditioned it and let it dry, like air dry style. So it's a little bit wavy. This is actually the texture of it when it dries down. It is this exact wig. So it's this wig that I'm showing you right now. This is in the color R4, which is a really beautiful dark brown color. And this is an Eva by Estetica that we had cut by a master cosmetologist that works here at Athens Technical College. She's one of the instructors. And we contract her out once in a while and ask her to, you know, hey, can you please cut something for us and make it cute? She's awesome. And she cut this and made it beautiful. Eva, by the way, is a great human hair wig. It does have one of those beautiful Estetica lace fronts, and it has a monofilament top. And the hair density is a little bit more than normal. I mean, I might put it on. You know, I don't want to be cruel to this wig and try it on before I have my makeup on. But before the end of this video, I'll put it on so you can see what it looks like on me. Now, it is not styled. We literally just washed it and then conditioned it and then let it dry. And you can see that it's shiny, it's healthy, it's bouncy. It's got a really pretty blunt cut at the bottom. Here, let me get this on here a little bit straighter. Get that cheap pin out of here. There we go. It's a really beautiful wig, and the color is very pretty. And look how shiny that is. This is human hair, 100% Remy human hair. So, hey. So, what am I doing? We're giving one of these away, as I mentioned. So, we'll start this next week, and we will answer any questions you have probably starting next week. But I hope to answer most of the big ones right now. The prize value is $2,599, and that includes the stylist fee and whatnot. So this is open to US, Canada, UK, and Australia audience members. But if you're international, you are 100% responsible for duties, taxes, shipping costs, etc. We're just supplying the wig. So just know that up front. And I will probably remind you every single week because I don't want to catch anybody off guard. Entry, completely free. You don't have to pay a dime. I made this super, super easy. And so basically just watch this stream or the replay every Friday in May for clues. Solve the puzzle that we'll start giving clues for next week to be entered into the drawing. And then the drawing winner will be announced live on June 4th during this exact time slot in this live stream. So let's see. Prize is as is. So we're not going to cut it or dye it or any of that stuff. It's literally this wig. It's in beautiful shape. I would hate to really do much of anything else to it. However, the winner can take this beauty, which was worn only by me on camera, only a couple of times. And then I had it customized and then just realized I'm not really a human hair person. Literally, all of my human hair wigs are set decoration at this point, and the ones that aren't, I've given away. And this will now be the next one that I plan to give away. Because, I mean, it's a shame to just keep them in a box. They're so beautiful, you know? Somebody will love the heck out of this. So why not, right? And then it incentivizes people to come and hang out and chat me up and talk about makeup with me. Win, win. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. And next one. And I'm going to finish this up. I'll let you know afterwards what I did. But yeah, let's just say in the experiment, I definitely prefer the primed side. I think it looks a lot better. I was able to get more control over my crease placement. And I think that it doesn't look as messy. But I will say that, you know, if I did this again on purpose, which this wasn't, then I just ran with it for the sake of experimentation, I would probably just do one shade, you know, because it did go on very vibrantly. And if I don't mind where it ends up at the end of the night, like if it ends up kind of moving around, one shade is safer than going with a whole bunch. Though theoretically, all of these colors should work well together. You know, I don't know. It's just a matter of personal preference. But, all right, Nigel, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over if you like.
All righty. Anne says, I'm sure I missed it. What brand of primer do you use?
Today I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills. And let me see if there's a color on here. No, it's just ABH primer. It's kind of a creamy beige color. I'm gonna put some down in a very strategic fashion on this side to even them out so I can complete the look and have it look kind of like uniform. So I'm actually gonna put some of this primer on a medium-sized arrowhead concealer brush. This is a Smith 253. So go ahead, honey.
Shauna says, "Hi guys, newbie to your channel. Love it. Welcome aboard."
It's nice to have you with us.
And Anne says, "Thanks. Welcome." Yeah. Liz says we're ordering in tonight.
Oh, yeah, we have a pot roast today. I know that's not like if we knew you were coming over for dinner, we could definitely hang and make something interesting. Like I'm always interested to try some of those vegan holiday loaves. Like I know Nigel might not be able to get down with that because he can't do stuff with nuts in it, but I would love to try something. Or maybe we could do something with corn. Like what do you typically do for holidays, Liz? I'm super interested to know because I know when I was a vegetarian, everyone always served me just side dishes, and I appreciated it, but I would get really sick of it after a while. Like, what is the best thing to make for dinner if you're hanging with a vegan? I would love to know because I always try to be considerate of other people's dietary needs. You know.
Well, they used to do some really good nut and mushroom loaves at the Livermead House. For vegetarian dinners.
That sounds really, really good. Very umami. Savory. Sorry, I meant savory.
Liz says field roast brand.
That sounds familiar. I have to try that. It sounds
no nuts.
Okay, no nuts. There we go. Thank you, Liz.
Excellent. Oh, and got a question from Sorry, okay, my sweet? You failed at you.
Oh, sorry. I just said we'll have to try that.
Yes, definitely.
You put fruit in here.
Yeah, frozen strawberries instead of ice cubes.
That's so clever.
Well, it's the strawberry rose vodka, your more rose water, the pink grapefruit juice, a fair amount of grenadine syrup and water, so that should help.
We're having tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we're doing the tropical drink tomorrow. Remember?
Oh yeah, all of them are very good. You'll have to bring this back out though for maybe the Biba palette stream or something like that because we absolutely should share this one with people. It's good. And
all right. Yeah, I'll make a note of that in a bit. But get one question answered. Bettina says, "Nigel, is that a Mustang on your shirt?" Yes, Bettina, it is. My very first car was a cheap old Mustang that my dad got for me, and it was starting to rust apart because the lady who owned it before me did not take very good care of it. But it was a beautiful car. It was a white Mustang. And because it was a pale horse, I named it Binky. Let's see. Oh, yes. All right. Irene says, "Sorry, got here late, Nigel. That was the car of my dreams. Had a brand new candy apple red one. Got totaled after 2 weeks. Oh, that is a shame.
Fun with it before that happened."
Right, I'm going to pull up my notepad and type out these recommendations.
Yes, absolutely. Like some of the best ideas we've gotten have literally been people here in these live streams. It's just amazing. And sometimes I'm like, that's a good idea. We're running with it now.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I really do like corn. That mycoprotein stuff.
Yeah. I also really love fake chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they do good fake chicken nuggets. Their ham is passable. Their bacon is, but their mince is absolutely amazing.
I don't know. They have a vegetarian bacon, vegan bacon that is like made of grains and smoke flavoring of some kind, and they have it at the Grit. Oh,
Oh yeah, that stuff is good.
it's so freaking amazing. Uh like Liz, if you ever come to Athens, you have to come to the Grit.
Yes.
Any vegetarians out there for sure. The food is
Yeah.
all vegetarian.
Bettina says, got my brother a shirt from Wally World with an earlier version. I got this at a music festival. It's the only music festival I've ever been to because a friend of mine, her boyfriend at the time was covering it for a cable access music show, and they invited me along, and I bought this shirt, and I got a tie-dye shirt you might have seen me wear before. And yeah, I got one for Mum as well because she liked riding in the Mustang as well because it's astonishingly comfortable car with an amazing amount of space in the back. If you put the back seat down, you can fit bleeding armchairs in there. Fantastic. Oh man, my first was powder blue, and you could not sit in the back, no floor. Wow.
But still a Mustang.
Yeah. My first car was a 63 Mustang convertible. Oh, that sounds nice.
That is definitely something that you should be gloating about a lot. Because that
Oh,
sounds,
yes.
that sounds awesome.
It says, or use garden burgers and mold them into other things. We got a couple of those, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think in the freezer.
A bunch of those. Okay, I really love the and for in full disclosure, I'm not a vegetarian, but I actually really love a lot of vegetarian food. I was a vegetarian for 12 years. So I really love the vegetarian breakfast sandwiches they have at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, those
They're
are good.
good. Like they have two of them. One of them's like a Southwest thing, and I can't eat all the bread. Like I usually take the bread off, but the stuff inside is wonderful. And the other one they have has this little like fake sausage patty. Do you remember the brand?
Not off the top of my head. It's not that Beyond stuff, is it?
We're crap influencers because we don't know the names of any of the stuff. You can tell it's not a paid promotion because we're like,
Yeah.
what's this brand? I don't know. It's just good.
It's the vegetarian breakfast sandwiches at Dunkin' Donuts. They're good.
Yeah, they're wonderful. But I found those patties, and we ended up buying just a bunch of those patties because they're so good.
Oh yes,
They're amazing. Like I love. They're very sage flavored. Go ahead, honey. I wasn't saying that. What?
That's okay.
Interesting.
Irene says they got boxy for a while. Love the new one, so hot. Yeah, they did get boxy for a while. There was one, it was roughly about the same time this one came out. It was basically just a Ford Escort with a Mustang nameplate on it. It did not look in any way good whatsoever.
Like, I don't think these two eyes perfectly match in terms of the shading, but I think that helped a little bit. What do you think, Nigel?
Say again?
Do you think these eyes look the same now?
Yeah, they look pretty good, but then again, my screen is pretty damn small, so.
No. All right. Well, hopefully they look good. We'll see.
Trader Joe's has a lot of vegan sausages, chorizo, etc. Yeah, we've seen those.
The vegetarian chorizo that they have at Trader Joe's is really, really good. It is very good. It gives me heartburn now, but prior to sleeve, I loved it. I ate that like at least once a week. I think I would force it on John, and John would be like, "What is this?" It's vegan. Very good.
Anne's got an excellent question. Nigel, what is your favorite thing to order from the Grit? My husband is working in Athens next week.
You gotta say, well, I'm gonna say Golden Bowl on behalf of Nigel, just because everyone orders the Golden Bowl when they go to the Grit. It's something they're known for.
Yeah, John just mentioned the Golden Bowl in his comment.
So I prefer their breakfast menu. And for my, like, I've probably been there more than Nigel, so I don't mean to talk for you, Nigel. But that, remember, the open face burrito, the open face vegetarian burrito, they have it on the breakfast menu, the El Rey. Very, All right.
Those are both good. The Golden Burrito and the El Rey. Yeah, I do like those. We also we ordered out from a taco place yesterday, and
No, actually, I think John ordered all that stuff, didn't he? Or he picked the place?
John picked the place, and we picked our own stuff. And I gotta say, all the stuff I had was acceptable. It was good, except for it was steak and plantain tacos. Oh, those were amazing. And John will back me up on that. I know he'll back me up on that. You know,
I love how excited you get about this stuff. That's why I love it when you talk about it.
well, it was especially good because it had plantains on it. It was extra good when you put the banana ketchup on it. Oh, Liz says, I'm making a note about the grit. My niece just got accepted to Emory Law School, so you never know, I might be visiting Georgia. Hey! Congratulations to her.
Yes. Congratulations to your niece, because that is a very, very competitive school. She must be.
And John agrees. It was amazing.
My meal was good, but it was significantly plainer than all of that. My meal was literally like rice, chicken,
and a pretty darn good avocado lime salsa.
It had like a salsa on top, which was nice. But my meal was very, 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 very plain compared to theirs. Theirs was very elaborate. It's all right. It was good. It's just I don't throw down when I eat as much as I used to.
All right, just typing a note to Liz about where she can find Baron brand banana ketchup. Amazon.
I love you.
Oh, that and mushroom ketchup. George Watkins. Did you like that drink, my sweet?
It's very nice.
All right, let me make a note of that.
I'm gonna take over the screen though, because I want everyone to see what I did. 3 colors. And then I didn't line it because I wanted to keep it kind of natural looking. And I ran with just a little bit of smoky stretch. Makeup Forever. It's a really nice mascara. Doesn't seem to irritate my eye much. And it makes my eyes look very long. I like that. And this is just a black mascara. So I think it's time to visit our rules for this. Is it nude? Can I make a neutral look? I'm almost like a no makeup look with this palette. Oh, heck yeah. For sure. Especially if you have a cool skin tone. This is absolutely one that you should run with. And just so you know, in case you're wondering like why my skin doesn't look quite so cool, I deliberately used a mix of Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter in color 1, which is the lightest color. I used that with a little bit of a Makeup Forever shade that has a little bit of extra yellow, but it's like a neutral gold, you know, it's like not quite gold base. And in doing so, it kind of warmed up my skin. And part of the reason why I did that is because, and I had to blend like crazy. But the thing is, it's very sheer. It's not a full coverage foundation. So the goal is to show my skin, like have my skin actually show through, and then neutralizing some of the pink tones. And so that is what I did. And I did not powder my whole face. So that's why I get this nice dewy appearance. I used cream-based makeups for the most part and just used a little bit of, and some liquid makeups. And then I used a little bit of my Pat McGrath powder, the blurring under eye powder under my eyes. I might put a little bit of extra blush on before we're done here. And that is the Cali Kisses palette is the one I've been using. But yeah, this one passes the test. You can definitely get a nude, no makeup eyeshadow look out of this. So now we gotta see, is it neutral? Like, can I wear it with these wigs? Well, I don't think this is actually this much of a test. the way that this looks right now because it's a little bit too natural looking. So I'm going to play with some of the other colors in here and add them, which I know is dangerous because I just put mascara on, but whatever. I want to put a couple more colors on, not the Elizabeth because that irritated the crap out of my eye while I was testing, not the Darcy because it's got the weird white spot. But I might go with like some of these metallic colors because I think that they might be really cute. So I'm going to kind of play around with those, make it a little weirder looking, and then put the wigs on. So that way it's more of a test of how some more of the colors here look. But I'm going to use this as the base and just kind of run with it. So Nigel, do you want to go ahead and take over for a little bit?
Second. Let's see here. Let's see. Right. Bettina says, have you ever tried mushroom coffee the guys on Crooked Media talked about? I've never heard of it before. You tried it, my sweet?
I've never heard of that either.
Okay. Irene asks a good question. Do you feel your wigs fit differently now that you are growing out your hair?
Yes. And I know that they will continue to fit worse and worse and worse as my hair grows out. I'm not looking forward to that either. It's not just the nature's Velcro thing that I've mentioned before, but it's literally a matter of, you know, the hair I've got, even though I don't use any specialty products on it, it's very baby fine and it's very smooth. And so it just makes the wig slip and slide around a lot more. And I already know that's going to happen. I'm super not looking forward to it because it's such a pain to deal with. And then you got to, you know, perhaps start using adhesive and stuff like that. I'm not really, I will do it. But once I'm done picking these toppers and developing them, I'm absolutely going to shave it all back off. I finally have reached the point, and I'm almost proud of it. In fact, you know what? I am proud of it. I think I finally reached the point, Nigel, where I no longer miss my hair. Like, isn't that what I've just been describing? Like, I'm like,
yep.
This hair. Brr. I no longer miss my hair because it's been so much easier without it. And the sensation of it is kind of overwhelming if you're not used to it anymore.
Got some good comments here. Elaine says, got a good pet name for you, Nigel. Mon petit chou-chou, which means my little cabbage. Have I called you Mon petit chou at some point?
No, but Spencer rescued a cat that I rescued. Like, I basically rescued a cat, and then he adopted her, and her name was Shoo-Shoo.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something, Elaine. There's an internet guy called goes by the cognomen of Leather Jacket Guy. His channel is called Are You Having That? He is extremely Irish, and yeah, he puts cabbage leaves in everything as garnishes for his cocktails. John will back me up. He's a fun guy. Look him up. Are you having that?
He seems kind of like an edgier version of Colin Firth, like the way he dressed, or not Colin Firth, Colin Farrell or somebody like that. Am I mentioning the right guy? Like Irish dude?
I think so. Guy with the thick eyebrows, bit of a jerk.
Maybe this
allegedly
the edgier looking but nicer version. I don't know. I put John, which is the name of this color down here. I put it down here. It's silver. So I'm going to keep going.
Cheryl says, how about the name? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Chinese for precious, spelled phonetically, I believe. Well, that's the problem. What dialect is it? And I need to know the tones, because if I say that wrong, I could end up calling Heather Toenail or something like that.
Little barbecue grill.
Yeah, because seriously, if you get the tones wrong in Chinese, you can put it this way. Coca-Cola said in normal Western lilt Coca-Cola, which is funny because lilt is a Coca-Cola product in Britain. You say Coca-Cola in Chinese, in some dialects, it means bite the wax tadpole.
Why would you even have a word for that?
It's not a word. It's just the way it goes together. Coca-Cola. Bite the wax tadpole.
Now I want to call it that forever. Like when
Yes.
you cocktail, you're like, this is rum and bite the waxed tadpole or whatever you say.
I'm going to make one called Bite the Wax Tadpole now. We need to get some Coke. Mountjoy Farms. Hello again. Says, is there a better head cover for full heads of hair?
I like these ones that are kind of like, you know, I don't even know what these called, like something like a cross between a beanie and a snood. This particular one is a John Renault softie, and we sell these at CysterWigs, in full disclosure, and they're very comfortable. I also buy hats once in a while at like trade shows and stuff. We haven't had any in a while because I haven't been to any in a while, but those are things that we bring to the site. Yeah, most of the hats that you can get, particularly in places that cater to wig wearers, are going to be really stretchy and accommodating of your hair and very soft. So I think that you're pretty safe as long as you're buying from a store that also caters specifically to people who wear medical wigs. So there are actually lots of places you could look, not just in my store, but like Amazon and head covers and a bunch of places. So it is self-promotion, but there are other options too, just to be thorough.
And Shauna says your makeup is always so beautiful.
Thank you very much. It took a long time to get here. I'm still kind of practicing and experimenting as I go, obviously. Because this video is going a little longer than anticipated because I was like, let's do this primer thing. But I think it was educational for me, and hopefully educational for you guys too, just to know that there is a real difference. Because every once in a while I hear YouTubers say, you don't need to prime. There's no reason to prime. And I'm like, okay. I think it just proves.
There's no reason to prime. In my Megatron voice.
Well, it works well if you're trying to achieve a certain look, you know? All right, because I have a hood. Like I have a little baby proto droop going on, particularly on this side, but I got a little one on this side, but it's mainly this one's the droopy one. I'm concentrating a little bit more on the, like right above it, upper corner, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like mapping it out, like draw a line there from like the center of your eye to your eyebrow. And then that's where I want that darkest point to be. And then dropping it down. And I'm just blending it out because I want all this to look really super soft. I'm pointing the brush this way though because I want it to blend up. But note that I'm not actually applying any makeup above here. If I do, they're going to be highlight shades specifically for this look. This is definitely different from what I did in the other two looks, I think. I hope. I'm going to try to make this side a little bit deeper, but I didn't use primer above there or past here. I'm hoping that that was only a real big issue with some of the lighter colors.
To answer your question, Mountjoy Farms, I am sitting in the room that's a couple doors down from Heather. This is where we usually film and shoot the images for product shots on mannequins and so forth, and where Heather does her little turnarounds on reviews and so forth. I'm just to the left of the set, or rather to the right of the set where she films all that stuff.
Yeah, we're in separate rooms because I'm using the iPhone to do the recording, and no matter what I do, I seriously bought
loads of equipment.
All kinds of equipment. I bought earphones, like wireless earphones, wherever they went, you know, that were supposed to work with this to try to make this a little bit, you know, less feedback, you know. But unfortunately, I found no way at all to mute the speakers on the actual iPhone once we're in the stream. So it was giving us a lot of feedback every time we would try it. So now, if I know I'm going to be using the iPhone, we go into two different rooms, though he's like literally right next door.
Yeah.
So
There's a closet between us, but that's about it.
Yeah.
We've been getting some product questions, some stock questions, and so forth, folks. If you want to ask those, the best thing to do is to write into our help desk, support@CysterWigs.com, down here somewhere. Down here, and they'll be able to take your requests, answer your questions, and stuff like that. So if you got any product type questions, stock questions, support@CysterWigs.com. Thank you.
You know, I don't even think I put primer on my skin today. But I don't think I needed it because I use a lot of moisturizer today.
Heather?
Yeah?
Moisturizer. Don't know what it is. Some people have a problem with the M word, but I always chew that word when I say it. Water, good. My sparkling wit is on show.
Oh, my brush is finally starting to shed a little bit. No! Oh no! There we go. Harumph.
Bettina says, moisturize me.
Hey, honey.
Yes.
I have something for you, you know, because the theme of today's adventure in makeup was enduring love.
Oh, yeah.
Present.
Oh, thank you.
You want it?
Yes, please. And guess what?
On camera. So.
Well, guess what?
What?
Since I knew you were doing this this theme tonight, I thought, I'll order something for you. So I've got a surprise for you.
What? Okay, well, come on over.
Right, be there in a second. I'm gonna turn this off so you can't see what it.
I hope it's not too elaborate because I didn't get you. I think I mean I don't want mine to look. I thought it was gonna be a spontaneous, loving gesture, and I would look like a bad gift giver now. I don't know. Oh goodness.
Are you ready, my cherry?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got you some flowers.
They're beautiful. Oh wow.
But they smell good too.
I don't know if they actually smell of much of anything, but they're
It must be these scented candles that are interfering.
They're very impressive looking.
Enduring love.
That's so cool. Oh, there are even little columbines in here.
Columbines.
How neat. That's so cool. Ah!
You like it then?
Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna put it. Can you help?
Hang on.
Yeah. Who needs those candles? They're not as cool.
Well, we don't want them burning near, plant life.
Flowers. Yay!
Flowers.
Can you guys see those? Oh, that's so nice of you.
Welcome. Where's mine?
We're such a cliche. I bought
Chocolate
candy.
Eat.
I bought him English candy in the English food section.
I'll show these on my own screen in a second.
And then I got you a card.
Oh, a card.
I know. So we're covering all of the Valentine's Day classics today.
I'll go look at these in front of my own camera.
I love you.
I adore you and my passion.
It's uncanny that, yeah. We could not pass up the opportunity to be cheesy. I think he probably saw that I was getting him something, though, because he unloaded the groceries. So that might be part of it.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Turkish Delight. Nice. Like a bit of Turkish Delight. Bounty. It's like a Mounds. If you like coconut chocolate, it's very nice. I think this is superior to Mounds because I think Mounds is a little dry, whereas this is nice. Oh, I've not had these before. Terry's Chocolate Orange Chocolate Bar. It's orange flavored milk chocolate, and if you I've not seen it in the chocolate bar form before. Normally, what they do is they make an actual orange out of orange flavored milk chocolate, and it comes in a globe in a box, and you're supposed to take it out and whack it really hard on the table and break apart all the wedges so that they all fall apart, and you can eat like orange chocolate wedges.
Do you have to whack them with a Gert big stick?
Whack it with a Gert big stick. With a Gert big stick, I'll knock 'em down. Blackbird, I'll have ye. Oh, that is friggin' adorable.
What?
Card, it says, where does it say?
Hold on, I'm gonna put you on the whole screen.
Okay. It says, I love you s'more. And it's little cartoon s'mores, but they're 3-dimensional, puffy, fluffy s'mores with like cardboard graham crackers and stuff. That's fantastic. To Nigel, my enduring love. See, it's a theme. Love you the most. To quote my Aunt Kitty, well, duh. You're my favorite person ever, my best friend, my husband, and my soulmate. So yeah, duh. I couldn't resist this opportunity to remind you of who you are and how much you mean to me. Heather, a.k.a. Darth Siren. Thank you, my passion. That's fantastic. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, fluffy marshmallows, though.
Fluffy marshmallows. Fluffy marshmallows.
So cute.
Cardboard graham crackers. Oh, by the way, at one point when I think it was 2016, the first time Heather came over for an extended period of time, she brought a whole bunch of stuff with her, including some pumpkin spice marshmallows, and we made s'mores using chocolate digestives. So I just took 2 chocolate digestives, put a marshmallow between them, in the oven, microwave oven for a few seconds. Delicious. I'll let you take over.
I love you.
And I adore you, my passion.
Don't think it's too schmaltzy though, everybody watching. Like, I wasn't like listening to like Celine Dion all morning or something like that. No, I've been listening to like literally Prince for basically the whole of April. So, you know, we're cute, but at the same time, it's like we both have like kind of like a wink wink nudge nudge side. So hopefully you don't OD on saccharin, because we like each other. So this is Bardot. And this is in Faded Denim R, which I also call Denim Fade on some styles simply because I couldn't remember which one I called it. Like, I just basically made a typo. But I like it either way, so just know it's the same color. Mistakes will happen sometimes. But yeah, I think this goes beautifully with it because this is a cool tone palette to begin with. I stuck to, you know, colors that... It's particularly in the second stage where I started piling it on a little bit more. I used this John color, which is really silvery. And then I also used Abigail, which is a violet. And that's what's actually built up in here. So it's very like this color in my crease is not a gray. That is a violet color that is meant to go really well with this John color. There are a couple, right? John and Abigail. That's cute. Very patriotic. But yeah, so that is... really pretty, and I think it goes beautifully with this Denim Fade color. This is one of the few colors still left on Bardot right now, and I think it looks really great. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the warm color now, which is the Peach Bellini R. Nigel, if you want to take over for a few minutes while I get that one ready to go.
All righty. Well, I love these. I'm probably going to save these for tomorrow and talk about them on the on tomorrow's live stream. Outstanding.
Turkish delights are so good. I'm happy about that because I saw those. I was like, oh, I should get that for Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not familiar with Turkish delight, if you've only ever read about it in the Chronicles of Narnia, it's a sort of gelatin based treat that comes in all different flavors, but this kind and the most common kind you'll see is rose flavored, and it takes a lot of people by surprise, and they go, ugh, ugh, tastes like soap. But it's one of those things you got to be used to, or know what you're getting into
Or be
at
from
the time. Sorry?
or be from Europe.
Europe. Yeah.
Europe.
You can get all kinds of different flavors, including like pistachio, coconut, lemon, orange, all kinds of flavors. That looks really good on you.
Oh, thank you. I'm just trying to get her kind of in position. She's a permatease wig, so sometimes you got to play with her. I was kind of combing out the ends a little bit. I love this color. It's so pretty.
Mountjoy Farm says the combination of the shirt and the wig looks steely. Nice. Presumably that was the last one.
Yeah. No, this is definitely different. It's a warm color. I picked it. It's not terribly warm, but it is peach. And if it were really cooler, it'd probably be a pink.
That does suit that palette really well.
I'm gonna go down to single heather mode.
No, you didn't.
Hello? I'm there. Okay. I'm gonna show you what this one looks like. I still probably would need to maybe like take a blow dryer to the top a little bit. I made a video about that. She does have a little bit of bag head going on, but yeah, pretty cute. She is a top seller. Whee! And I hope that if I can't make a version of this with a monofilament part, I really love these spinny chairs. If I don't make it by fall, I wanna make one at least by spring of next year that it has a monofilament side part and a lace front. I'm working on it. It's just a matter of getting it there. That was my one thing with this wig, is that, you know, I think that it could really use those features for people who want those like higher end features. It would be a perfect candidate for that. So it is a work in progress. It would probably be coming from the Wigs Forever line though, because that's going to be a little bit, you know, higher end. It's going to be like the Noriko to my Renee of Paris. You know what I mean? So, all right, I'm going to add Nigel back. Honey, come back. Don't leave me. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to do another little turn on the catwalk, and then I'm going to put on the royal velvet again. But do you think this goes with it? Do you think this is neutral enough, even with all this silver and violet?
Yeah.
Violet, by the way, is on the exact opposite end of the color wheel from this orangey color.
Yeah, I think it works though.
Yeah, I think it's soft enough that it actually
complements well.
Yeah, I think it does. I think also, you know, I'm wearing a lot of cool tone stuff like this and this because I knew what this palette looked like, and that it was basically just a lot of cool tones. Yeah, it still goes well. It just looks like a contrast piece with the outfit, but it doesn't look crazy. Like I could wear this downtown and people would probably compliment me on my hair color. So, all right. But I do live in a college town, so take that with a grain of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the Royal Velvet now, if you want to take over again.
Sure. Bettina says in response, like Jelly Belly, multiple flavors. Oh, friggin' love Jelly Bellies. Oh, fantastic.
Have you ever
Forms asked which wig is that one. These are all Bardeaux. These are all Bardeaux.
Yes, I talked over you because you just talked over me, because I was about to ask you if you've ever had a Sky Bar. So you were talking about flavors.
I've had a Sky Bar. I think, where did I get them? I got them when I was visiting Ohio back in 2004 or 2006. We went to a Mayor's in northwestern Ohio, possibly, and they ended up in their vintage candy section and bought a whole bunch of stuff and just pigged out on it. And Sky Bar, was it four or five different flavors in a single bar? Fantastic.
And somebody in last Saturday's stream correctly identified this as being similar to our Cool Opal R. They are not the same color. You're not going to get the same effect from this color. It definitely will look purple with a little bit of extra mixed in for flavor. But it's really to show you, if you own both colors, like, you will notice the difference right away. This is substantially darker. It doesn't look as brown because it doesn't have as much of that kind of like burnt sienna color in it. It definitely looks purple. But then you get a little up close and you're like, oh, there's like a little bit of like a greeny, dark greeny blue. That's not a black that's mixed up in there. That is literally super dark teal. And then there is also a little bit of orange, but it is much more toned down. And the reason why I toned it down is because this is Bardot. It is a heat-friendly wig. And plus, I wanted to make this in a rooted version. I wanted to make it more purple. And I knew that in a heat-friendly fiber, this would really, really, really give me the opportunity to play with that. Just like in a heat-friendly fiber, I could make our collaboration with Beltress in the form of that cool opal color. It's just when you're working with heat-friendlies, they pull to the color a lot more like red. So I knew that I could push it even further and just make it purple. So it worked out really beautifully. Now I'm curious to see if I can do something like this in a non-heat friendly fiber. That's going to be the real trick. But so far, I love the way this turned out on this heat friendly fiber. What's everybody else think?
Yeah, everyone else. Let's see. Let us know what you think of this particular combination. I quite like it. It's got a bit of coolness in it that goes well with the purplish in the eyeshadow, I think. Yeah. And Mary, this is the Royal Velvet R, which is
this will be coming in the fall.
Yeah, it'll be coming in the fall.
Yeah, for sure. I saw somebody was commenting earlier about shipping from outside the USA. We have no control over that. That's part of the reason why we outsource all of that to Amazon, is because dealing with international shipping and the fluctuation with international shipping rates is a huge administrative burden. It is a lot, particularly when you're selling a lot to international customers. So we outsource all of that to Amazon. So we literally intentionally outsource all that to Amazon. So we don't have to worry about that. Plus, Amazon gets better rates. So if Amazon's rate is crazy high, there's no way we could come close to anywhere approximate to that. Another part of the reason why we outsource that to Amazon is precisely because they ship a lot, and so they get the best possible rates that you could possibly get. Whereas we don't, volume wise ship a lot overseas, so our rates are not great. We don't get in that price tier that would give us really baller shipping rates. So if we can't actually provide better shipping rates, we go to the people who can, which is why for a really long time we were recommending that people do parcel forwarding, because they would get bulk shipping rates and they would be able to give discounted shipping. And we also then moved to Amazon, same deal. They can get much more competitive shipping rates than we could privately as a company. And we don't really want anything to do with having to deal with tracking and all that stuff with international shipping. We outsource literally all of it to Amazon for that reason. Because part of the reason why I discontinued it is because we couldn't keep up with it, because it's just with everything that goes on between all these different countries and the weather and everything, it's like, it's just too much. We focus on our domestic orders and we let the experts over at Amazon handle the international stuff. We're definitely not going to know more than they are is my philosophy on that. So we're trying to provide the best service and the best shipping. And that's part of our strategy for doing that.
So we've just been talking about the Mr. Big chocolate bar in the meantime.
What's that? Tell me more. I want to know more.
Oh, it's a Canadian chocolate bar, kind of like those coffee crisps. But you've had a Nestle Lion bar, right?
No.
Okay. Nestle Lion bar, it started out as like a wafer with some chocolate and some nuts and some cereal and some caramel, all coated in chocolate. but a Mr. Big is like that, except the wafer is a really big, thick, creamy vanilla wafer.
Like how creamy?
Like you can actually see lines of white in between the wafer. There's that much creaminess in between it.
That sounds really
and
good.
then you got the caramel and the crispy stuff and all that and chocolate. But the thing is, it's called Mr. Big Bar because I found some in a post office in England somewhere. I forget where I was at the time, but I went in and saw Mr. Big Bar, and I thought, wow, that is a Mr. Big Bar. That thing was like a foot long. Fantastic.
That is impressive. That is a lot of candy.
Oh, yes, it was. Still didn't last very long, though. Because it was good.
And it good. All right. I had to put a little bit more powder foundation up on this little blemish because it just doesn't want to go away. So I think mission accomplished. I think that this is a neutral palette, even though it's neutral cool. I think that you can get a lot of different looks with it. I think that it is a nude as long as you apply it the right colors, stick to the mattes, you're probably gonna be fine. Yeah, I think that's about it for this one. You can probably see when I'm looking down at my laptop down here that silver that's in there. Is that showing up?
Yeah, it is.
Sweet. Because I know looking straight on, it's probably not showing up, but this is very silver. And I applied this with a brush and not my finger. I think if I applied this with my finger, it'd be even more of an intense payoff, but I'm not going to the disco. I think this is good enough for what I was aiming for. So yeah, I think that's about it for us. Do you have anything you want to add, honey?
Well, not really in the way of makeup or anything, but I think you're right. That palette does work well with various shades if you plan ahead.
It's very versatile for sure. Just don't do what I did if you have sensitive eyes. Don't put this Elizabeth color right up against the edge of your eyelid here, because that irritated the crap out of my eye. It puffed up and stayed that way for like a day and a half. Seriously. But you live and you learn, and now I can spread the word that color is pretty, but probably better as like, outer V accent color or something like that, not as something you wear right up against your eye, especially if you're sensitive. So yeah, I think that's it. I just want to. Oh, go ahead, honey. Sorry.
Kathy says beautiful, Heather, and Montjoy Farm says great finish with purple wig.
Yeah, I think it works really well. Like, I knew that there were a lot of purples in this palette, so I kind of coordinated. I also knew there were a lot of gray tones, so I just kind of ran with it.
Margot says you look beautiful, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been saying that for years, though.
I love you. And you are very smooth, by the way, just so you're aware. And you get better every single time we do this.
Yeah, well, last week when we were doing this, we were it was a bit stilted because we were trying to do this new format in separate rooms and got new equipment with new setups and new links and everything, and it's a learning curve, folks. It's a learning curve.
But we've been trying to share all of the mistakes. I mean, whether we want to or not. And we've also been sharing how we fixed them and the obstacles that we came up against with the streaming, in case you guys ever want to do this too. And if you learn something from us and then, you're real successful because of it, make sure you just give us a shout out. That's cool.
Yeah. And get in your product placement.
Hey. Wait. What was the thing I did earlier? Hold on. I know I've got a thingy because I made the thingy. Shameless self-promotion achieved.
Ding!
Did I sound like the voice that comes on when the elevator's about to go down, or like when you're on an airplane and they're like, please fasten your seatbelt?
Oh, Serene has just popped in. Hello, Serene.
Hello. Oh, you caught us right as we were about to end it. But I'm glad you were able to join us. And just for everybody who caught us late, I am going to give away this beautiful customized Eva by Aesthetica. Make sure you watch the replay so you can get some more of those details. We will be trickling out details and trickling out clues starting at the beginning of May and moving all the way through until the first week of June, and then we will draw a winner from the people who get the clues. So that's going to happen. And if you aren't signed up for our newsletter at CysterWigs.com, I highly recommend it, because that's how we tell people what's going on. We run sales. We try to bombard you with information to the point where you're like, I know it all now. Thank you, Heather and Nigel.
It's funny.
What's that?
When you said bombard you with information, I've got this great limited run. It's like 5-issue run of a Star Wars comic called the Yavin Basilica. And there's a bunch of bounty hunters out to settle a bet for a bunch of huts. And one of the bounty hunters said something in its native language, and one of the protocol droids translated, he requested to be pummeled with information. Or meat. Same pronunciation.
Wait, what? Wait. Okay, so at first I thought you were talking about some kind of microbiology experiment, and then you kept going on about these things, and then you told me that meat is the same word as what?
Information.
Meat and information are the same word.
Well, same pronunciation. You know, like meet up with someone or pass me some meat.
Got it.
Sounds the same, but, from context.
It took a while, but I got there eventually.
Yeah.
And that's the important part, I think.
But when you pummel with information, that's what made me think of that. Sorry.
It's cute though. No, that's a good association, because I know how much you love Star Wars stuff. So
homophones.
Yes. See, the thing is though, Nigel, here's the deal. If you would have just said homophone, I would have known what it was that you were trying to do, because I'm so literal that it just kind of went. And then I was trying to listen in and it wasn't connecting. Okay, so anyway, that's just me though. I'm really super slow to pick this stuff up because I'm an aspie. So like, don't please don't feel like I'm like trying to play dumb or something. I just seriously am kind of slow to put strings of words together sometimes.
Got a question from Shauna. She says, is that a warm color, the purple?
No, it does have a little bit of some warmth to it, but the tone, I would say overall, is definitely cooler, because I mean, it's got all this super, super, super dark teal in it. It's kind of hard to come across as an overall warm color, even if this is more of a violet purple than a like a royal purple. It's still gonna pull kind of cool. It's just really dark, so I think that makes it a little bit versatile. And there are very subtle hints of like a burnt sienna color in here, but it's incredibly understated in this color. Whereas in the and it's more like very random placement. It's very, 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 very unique the way that it's laid out here. I'll turn around one more time. But the cool opal brown is different than this, even though it utilizes a lot of the same color palette. And that's because the cool opal brown is thoroughly blended. It's not highlighted in the slightest. This is definitely meant to show you the different colors in a little bit more detail, whereas with cool opal brown, the goal was to obscure it. So it would be more like an optical illusion type of color. And there's a lot more equal distribution and equal quantity. So like all of the colors are in there in an equal ratio in the cool opal brown, which give it that optical effect, because you're just as likely to hit some orange up against the purple up against that teal, and it's the same all over. So it's really, really interesting the way that it plays with the light. This will not do that. It will definitely look very dynamic, but it is definitely gonna look kind of purple. And it's gonna be much darker looking than the cool opal brown. Maybe tomorrow, if you guys are curious, I can show you both. Because we're not really gonna do anything except goof off on the CysterWigs 2 channel. It's kind of like, we do this, we do a good job, and then our reward is just hang out and get goofy with it. Though we did a lot of that tonight too. All right. So I think we're going to wrap this one up. I want to thank all of you for joining us for this love fest with the Enduring Love palette by Cindy Grace. All of my lovely Bardeaux, which are available at CysterWigs, though not the palette. I don't sell those. I just like them. And if you are curious about what wigs are available in this color or whatever, just know this color is not available yet. It won't be until the fall. This is part of our fall collection.
Hang on, my sweet. You're freezing up, and the audio is dropping out.
No.
You might want to repeat that last bit again.
Okay. So, this color in this wig is not going to be available until the fall. And then it's part of our fall collection I keep showing you because it's like probably the thing I'm like the most stoked about aside from individual styles, which I'm not going to give you teasers about until we get a little closer to the fall, but I want to help you kind of plan. And then, because I'm just really stoked about purple, really. The other thing is if you want to know what colors are available in Bordeaux, it's literally, I think it's basically just down to the Polar Ice, the Denim Fade I showed, and the Peach Bellini R that I showed today. And we probably will not have more Bordeaux colors coming until the fall. We will also get a refill of Piper and a whole bunch of other styles. In the fall, we'll also get some refills in the spring. So you just kind of have to stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to our newsletter because that is when we are going to give all of those details away. And that's about all she wrote. We're not going to give away all those details here in the live streams because if we do, then we can't get you to sign up for the newsletter. And the newsletter is important for us trying to build a brand, just keeping it real. So we want to incentivize you to do it transparently and give you something really juicy in exchange for that. And that is all of the answers to kind of questions that you're asking about what's going to be available and when. If you're subscribed to the newsletter, you know. All right. So, or you will know because some of that information is not publicly available yet. So, Nigel, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, yeah, it's been a hoot. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Please catch us tomorrow night on the second channel, CysterWigs After Dark at 6 p.m., where Nigel will be running most of the show. He's like on this side of me now. Nigel will be running most of the show. And he's going to tell you more about his home country, England. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we will talk about a lot of food and drool and try not to make a mess. Yes. Thank you for being a good co-host, honey. I love you.
And I adore you, my passion.
I recommend it. I recommend these wigs, obviously, because they're awesome. And I hope you have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.